We live in an age where those in power are openly using every weapon at their disposal to impose their will upon the future. Where the principles of authoritarianism and individualism stand in open conflict in the streets, in the courts, in the news, in everyday life. Where the choices we make and the choices that are made for us have consequences no one can foresee. You do not stand alone. You do not fight alone. You do not suffer alone. We are united. We resist. We are here with you. As long as there is a truth that remains hidden, as long as lies are spread openly, we will continue to speak out. We will continue to question. We will continue to be the united resistance.
Every time I see that intro, man, I am just so jazzed. I still love that intro. Shout out to Brightest Day yet again for creating that epic intro. I can't ever get enough of that. I really can't. So welcome to United Resistance, everyone. We have an awesome show this evening. I have a great guest, and that would be the man right next to me. That'd be Mr. Newslad of Legion of Memers fame. I'm glad that he came in. I'm sure that he'll I'm sure that the Legion will come up with some epic memes of myself, and I'm sure everyone else. Give him time. And Newslad, it's great to have you.
Well, I appreciate you having me on here, sir. I've been on with ETEP before. That's a name I recognize. How are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, guys. I'm getting ready for this big meetup Sunday. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little fried, but I'm here and I'm stoked. So let's have a good one.
Yeah, because a lot of people are going Sunday for the Orlando meetup. I know a lot of people are headed out to see our favorite faces from the fellowship around there. So I hope everybody has a good, safe time. Unfortunately, I can't go because I got work, and I'm up to my neck in work besides working my job, and then got stuff I'm doing to get the house ready to sell. So there's a lot going on here. So there's no meetups for me in the future for a while.
You had a big day. You had a big day today, though.
Yeah, I did. It's a lot of stuff got done around here. Will's in the house, of course. It's great to see Will, and Janet is here, and she's always here classing up the joint, as she always does, because I mean, we gotta have someone that has some kind of morals and some kind of class, because Lord knows we don't. And then
definitely not.
the aforementioned ETEP is here, and ETEP, it's great to see you, brother. Glad
Good to be here, man.
Glad you are here. So let's say hi to our friends in the chat. And I'm going to say hi to everybody really fast because, your boys got to, hit the hit the brakes for a second because, man, I got to pee like a Russian racehorse, no lie. Tina Bojan, great to see you. Big John DeBelvis, what's going on, my friend? Great to have you here. Snortabumpus Cuber, what's going on, man? Joel Bat's in the house. Great to see you, buddy. Terminus is here. Terminus S. Love Terminus. Terminus, I was thinking about you today because, of course, I was sitting there and I was looking at promotional material for different movies. The Time Prophet, what's going on, brother? Great to see you. Of course, Keely Chow is in the house. What's up, Keely? Trina is here, the Lasso of Truth, our favorite head mod and one of our favorite ladies ever. Trina, it's great to see you in the chat. It's just great to see you back around. So Trina is here, and of course, just another red shirt is in the house. What's going on, red shirt? Great to have you. And let's see. I see that Low Spec Linux laptop is here. Great to see Low Spec. And of course, we've got, let's see, Pinochet's Helicopter Tours is here as well. So I think that just about covers everybody. I know that Godzillionaire is probably lurking at some point somewhere. And if he is not here physically, he's here in spirit. Godzillionaire is always here. And oh, by the way, we cannot forget the beautiful, the wonderful Tina Bojan is in the house. So what's up, Tina? Love you, girl. So there's a lot going on. I mean, obviously, the lead up to the midterms is fast and furious. And oh, God, all I can say is from creepy videos of Hillary Clinton to even creepier videos of our elder-in-chief, with just putting it mildly, since he's more like our Alzheimer's patient-in-chief. He's really losing it. Things are not going well for Uncle Joe. What's going on there, Mr. Freeze Peach Gaming?
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Nice to meet you, Newslad.
And hail, Commander Phil. So
sorry about the tardiness. Also was getting ready for the Orlando meetup, so I'm kind of in the same boat as Newslad there, just trying to get all my ducks lined up.
Yeah, everybody is, man. So I know that there's going to be a lot of people there, and I really wish I could go. I've never gone to a meetup at all, and it's just never been in the cards for me money-wise. But with the Mama Heretic in the condition she was before, I could never make it to any of them. And then the ones that have happened since, I've always just had stuff going on. But one of these days I will. And we need to have one, you guys, in the Northeast. And we've talked about on some level, even if it's on a smaller scale, about us doing that. And you see what happens? Look, I mentioned Godzillionaire earlier, and Godzillionaire shows up. Look at that.
Hey, man, it's God. Godzilla. Have a meetup. I want to smell people. I had to smell some hair, man. It keeps inflation down.
I don't think there's going to be enough 12-year-olds over there for
Hey.
you, Joe.
Yourself. Just keep your hands
I,
to yourself.
I don't need my hands. I got a nose, man. Hey, I can just smell from my. Yeah, have you seen the? Never mind, man. I think I pooped.
I can smell it through the camera. You do.
Hey, just remember, those poor kids are just as smart as white kids, man. They all smell the same.
spending $150 million on cocaine would make sense.
That's right. You know.
You're using that one earlier and earlier.
Yeah, well,
every week.
Well, dude, you know, come on.
I'm just saying, it makes sense. It
Look,
makes sense.
look, dude. We run
a get a cocaine fix earlier and earlier in the day.
We run a tight ship on this program. All right, you know, we don't do any reckless spending around here.
I don't want to hear any more of these lies about reckless spending. We're changing people's lives.
Not ours. Not for the better.
At that exact moment, he shit his
Putting
pants.
us all in the poorhouse. That's what he's doing.
No kidding. But here is something that is breaking as of a few hours ago, guys, and you know, this was from earlier from disclosed.tv, which, by the way, these guys are a great Twitter follow. If you want to keep up on what's going on up to the minute, disclosed.tv is one of the Twitter accounts you should be following just to kind of keep you on top of the headlines. Elon Musk informs bankers that he intends to close Twitter deal on Friday. So we can look forward to a weekend of a liberal meltdown as Elon officially takes over, which will probably be worth the price of admission all in itself. So,
But do you think he's really going to fire a bunch of them?
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, because they have they're not, these employees are not focused on doing their job. They're focused on spreading agenda. And you can't have that in a functional business. I mean, it's just, I mean, you can have that, but you're not going to have, you know, a truly, you know, skewed, you're not going to have truly like just customers that run the gamut. You're only going to have a skewed customer base, and it's no good from that sense. So yeah, he's going to put in actual employees that people that want to work in IT, people that want to work for a social media venture, and the standards I would venture to guess would change immediately as far as how Twitter's hiring practices work.
If you want like an idea of what modern day tech workers and modern day office workers are like, look up some of It's a Gundam's adult daycare videos.
Yes. Yeah. I showed those to my wife and she's like, and the sad thing is this bitch probably makes like double what I make.
Easily. She's making
it's stupid money for the amount of work that those people actually do. Because like you don't really have much time to work when you're doing all that shit in the course of like an 8-hour day. You know, which I imagine they're 9 to 5, you know. I mean, I watched a couple of those myself and I was just dumbfounded and it's like the exorbitant salaries for these putzes is what's really.
They're going to be doing putsy stuff when they work for Elon Musk?
Not for
no.
I guess I'm mixed up then. So you're saying that's what they're doing now compared
to
what
they're doing now. They're not going to be. They're not going to be doing that stuff later. You know, and let's see. Horny Elf, yeah, we need to purge Twitter bots. And shout out to the Legion and Horny Elf, another great person associated with the Legion. Great to see you, buddy.
Like my last 10 Twitter followers have all been bots, like obvious bots.
Yeah.
Well, how can you tell?
Vince Womack.
It's a hot chick with like that's following a buttload of people and has no followers.
Scammers from Haiti or Africa or somewhere.
Vince Womack is a bot, but he always compliments me, so that's why I keep him around.
That's a good bot.
Yeah, good bot, yes. I love you, Vince.
All the bots I get send me DPs.
Wait, what?
I get at least 2 a week.
Oh my
2 dick
God!
pics a week.
Hail, Soul
Don't get any.
Assassin! What's going on?
So
All right. I just step away and hit the head for a second. Feel free to chit chat a little bit more about the Twitter acquisition. But yes, before I run up there, I just want to say, yeah, I fully expect for there to be a lot of changes at Twitter, and I think they're going to be for the better. Discuss.
So, Janet,
yeah.
I think you should open up. So you know that Twitter is not safe for work, and you can have like a not safe for work account. You should have an account where you rate your dick pics that you get.
Oh, no.
Like do short videos of like this one's
Am I
a
allowed
3
to
out
put
of
their
10.
pictures on there?
On Twitter, it's the Wild West. There's porn on Twitter.
Yep.
Well, I know I've seen a lot of it, but I didn't
I
realize
mean,
it was legally on there. I'm
Comic
always
book
reporting.
pros show their assholes on Twitter. I mean, it's you know it's a pretty safe bet that you could rate your D pics on there if you'd like, Janet. I think that would make a wonderful short series. Not that I'll be watching it.
Now that you
but
say that,
moral support.
I guess I will. Will any of you volunteer to help me rate them?
Oh,
not my bag.
Just kidding. But yeah, it's amazing.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I mean, I've gotten one and it was laying on a plate, a paper plate, and it had a bun. And then I've had another one that was sent to me and he had like eyeballs and and nose drawn on it. I mean, just, I don't know.
The one on the bun, did it have condiments?
I was gonna say, was there onion and like what style coney was it?
We didn't have anything on it. It just had it like that. And I'm like, but why do they think sending that to a woman's gonna make them want me going, oh my God, you got to give me your phone number.
Right. I always wondered that being like especially when I was in like the professional wrestling business, because we had, there's women in the locker room and, they get a lot of the other workers. I mean, okay, let's face it. Some of them are rats, some of them aren't, but a lot of them will get unsolicited dick pics from other workers. And it's like, at what stage of your life as a man have you just been like, well, I tried talking to her, she didn't respond to that, I tried messaging her on, insert social media platform here, she didn't respond to that, so the next logical step in the evolution of this burgeoning relationship is for me to take a picture of my cock and just send it over and hope for the best.
Well,
I mean,
I got
like,
one. I got one from a guy, and he said he was really into Star Wars, and he sent me one of him dressed like a Sith Lord. And he had a cape and his lightsaber, which was fine. I told him that was really cool for cosplay.
And then he's like, "Here's my dick."
Then he sent me another one, and it's like a shadow effect of him against the wall, and that's when he had the shadow of it sticking out of his.
At least he was creative.
I know. So what I'm saying is, some of them think about it before they send it, but
they get. It's like
it's a lot of work for a dick pic.
on my profile, it says I like comic books and I'm like Star Trek and stuff, and I'm,
That's production value. Production value.
So
The dick
much
pics.
money.
I don't know.
He spent so much money on the authentic Jedi robes. He's like, I'm gonna get my money's worth out of these things. It's not about the penis.
But he didn't send me anything after I told him.
Well,
not
maybe
to send me
it
any
was
more
sort of
pictures
about
like
the
that.
penis.
It was a little about, but he's like, the robes, they're authentic. Look at it.
Yep.
I mean, the first one he sent, I even complimented him on it, but it didn't say that I wanted him to send me any extra attachments or anything.
Here's my
Terminus desk. Got it. I got to highlight
Unintended
Terminus
there,
desk here. The force is schlong with this one.
Oh my God, that is so funny.
Here's my X-Wing, and here's my Jabba the Hutt, and oh look, here's a vintage Wampa, and here's my dick.
Can
I don't know
my
what the question is,
R2D2
but
in
the
your
answer is
X-Wing?
always Red 6.
That'd be an interesting story to do, though, is to interview women and how many of them did respond when they received a DP, to see if any of them said, "Oh my God, it's the nicest one I've ever seen. I gotta see it in person or something."
You got to be careful when you're saying DP, because that's, I mean,
multiple meanings.
I mean, are you talking double penetration or, allegedly in Minecraft YouTube,
I
Chinese
didn't realize
finger
that.
trap,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'll say dick pic then.
There you go. I mean, you say DP and it's like, wait, what are we? What now? What's going on over here? What kind of party is this?
I've just been sitting here laughing the whole time since I've been back because, like, Janet unironically using DP for dick pic, not knowing that there's a completely other meaning.
I felt I could lend a little bit of knowledge.
I mean, like I sent a video for Drew for his birthday, but I did the,
oh boy,
I had my bra on, and
I was like,
I had presents over them.
Eat your heart out, Allura Jensen.
But the thing is, it was for his birthday, and it was for fun. It wasn't something I was sending to him privately, saying, "Hey, check this out." I just don't understand why anyone would want to send that type of picture unless it had some type of a relationship with the person already.
Damn it! So assassin, next time
educate was informed.
Next time, send that in the super chat, bro.
Dun, dun,
aren't you a little short for a dick lord? Sean, he said, "What's going on, buddy?" He said, "Here late, just in time for the DP." Hail! wait, see what you started, Janet?
I'm sorry. I what does it stand for besides dick pic?
Yeah,
double penetration.
Double penetration.
Oh no!
Chinese finger traps.
Yeah. Tina Bojan says, "My husband perked up."
I'm not even gonna ask which one.
Oh
my God.
I'm sorry, people. It's not.
I know which one.
The Clown World Review, Tony. What's going on, buddy? He says, "Then what does DDP stand for?"
Diamond double penetration.
Yes. Oh my God.
You get a special treat at the end.
Commander Bill says, "All right, I'll take care of everyone."
Yo, Phil, wait up.
See, Phil's Canadian. He just doesn't know how it works down here yet.
Oh man.
God love him. He's gonna have to learn.
So I do my Canadian accent and be like, "Oh my, double penetration! Hey, they don't have that at the Hortons." I don't know.
Terminus says Drew's dick pics would crash the whole internet. They call him the unidonger if he does that.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez. Oh, that's good. I'd rather be the unidonger than the eunuch donger.
Yeah, Drew puts the D in DDoS.
Yeah, exactly.
Canada's right above us. They always throw. It's like, kids throwing pennies off the top. The Canadians are just throwing pennies at us right now in Michigan. It's not even fun.
Yeah, only in Drew's stream.
Technically, they're throwing the 1 cent loony, but
Yeah, they're throwing. I was so tripped out the first time I went to a strip club in Canada and I seen dudes laying on stage and putting a coin in their mouth. I mean, what the. Man, you get kicked in the head for doing that shit in the U.S. You get up on the stage, you got 3 bouncers whipping your ass. What the hell? Okay, this is how it works over here. All right, so the strip clubs here are more fun.
Oh my God,
the one we have here.
Disgusting. You don't have a clue where that's been.
Yeah,
I was 19. I didn't care.
That is just gross.
Hey, Ty Prophet says, "I think Supreme Heretic would have to use a wide-angle lens."
Panoramic.
Yeah. Soul Assassin says, "Only in a Drew stream would you learn from the sex dictionary." Absolutely. Oh man.
What's on the show tonight, Drew?
Oh God.
Are we talking about fetish porn? I was like, what porn actress does Drew have in the back?
Yeah, I know, man. Only this show have we had the immortal Jasmine St. Clair and Allura Jensen all in the span of a 2-week time period. That was pretty epic, I have to say. So there are no other shows around the Fellowship that can claim that one. So we've got that going for us. Godzillionaire said Drew's got to smoke one after this conversation. Tina says,
I'm pretty close myself.
Tina says, "I was a bank teller in college and made sure to wash my hands at least every hour." Yes. Well, listen, ETEP is not far off because I've heard the stories. I had a buddy that was in the Navy that said that when he was over in oh God, where was it, in Thailand? They went to a
Oh, Nancy Pelosi Summers there.
they went to a gentleman's establishment, and
It was all gentlemen.
and no,
Yeah, watch out for the lady boys.
no, apparently the dancers had an affinity for shooting objects out of their female slot. So it was like the old things when we grew up, guys. Remember those ping pong
The ping
ball
pong.
guns?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Oh
The
yeah.
ping pong ball guns. Yeah.
Was that Winona Ryder?
Yes,
Or,
South Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to think of. It was
The
Winona
ping
Ryder
pong
on
ball
South Park.
trick. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And that's my ping pong ball trick.
So feel free at any point to share any ridiculous creations there, Newslad.
Oh, I already got you.
Okay.
I got you one. It should be on the Twitter thread, I think, from earlier.
Oh, nice.
There it is.
Oh no.
So if I do name my next like site or Twitter page or whatever, I could call it Janet's Dick Division.
Hey, there you go.
That's slightly taken.
Yeah.
Well, I'd spell it Dick, not D-I-X.
And yeah,
Oh, okay.
I have to say it was only a matter of time. Here it is, immortalized.
Oh my
by
God.
The Legion of Memers.
Right.
Uh,
Gotta say,
the things I can never unsee.
exactly.
Good job on
Look how
matching the skin
ripped he
tone.
is. That's impressive.
Yeah. Hey man, at least I'm ripped. I love it.
Boy, Drew, I've never seen you with your shirt off before.
Yeah,
I have.
I love it.
And I don't know.
Dude, I don't know if we want to admit that. That's uncomfortable.
I've been in your house. You sometimes you don't use discretion when you come out of the bathroom. It's not my problem.
Hail, Philip Gaming. What's going on, buddy? Horny Alf says, put a Jack Murphy beard and say 69 for 69. Oh man. So
Jack Murphy. I'm gonna teach men how to be men. Bend over and take it. Wait, what, Jack? Whoa. Oh, hold on a minute, Jack. Let me back up. I didn't pay for these lessons, man. I ain't putting nothing in it. What are you talking about? Not that there's anything wrong with that, Jack. You do you, boo boo.
well, I don't know if anybody speaking of stuff that we can't unsee, I don't know if anybody caught the video from I think yesterday or the day before where Hillary Clinton came out and said that and she went full blue anon in this 2-minute clip. She said that the Republicans have a plan to steal the 2024 election, which is just absolutely hilarious to me, considering that those of us that have seen, docs like 2000 Mules, and we understand how elections are fortified in our country. It's just a really out there statement. And if people want to accuse, people like us that are free thinkers or people on the right for being conspiracy theorists, I mean, as I said, Hillary's gone full on, like, past the blue anon threshold, man. She is just out there. And I want you guys to see this clip. I know that Comics talked about this a little bit last night, but for those of you that haven't seen it, this is absolutely disturbing, frankly, to me. So let's share this and watch it. And yes, I know I'm going to ruin a lot of people's appetites with showing Hillary, but hey, sometimes we got to take one for the team, right? It just yeah.
Mm.
So
Mrs. Mason ready.
check this out. So
Oh God, it became an innie.
No visibles. I'm here to highlight something that is keeping me up at night.
I like the
And I know
disingenuous
this group
chuckle.
really
Right.
I know we're all focused on the 2022 midterm elections, and they are incredibly important. But we also have to look ahead because you know what? Our opponents certainly are. Right-wing extremists already have a plan to literally steal the next presidential election.
Literally
And they're not
steal.
making a secret of it. The right-wing controlled Supreme Court may be poised to rule on giving state legislatures, yes, you heard me that correctly, state legislatures the power to overturn presidential elections. Just think, if that happens, the 2024 presidential election could be decided not by the popular vote or even by the
It's not decided by popular vote, idiots.
but by state.
It was when she won the election, remember?
Many of them Republican controlled. But there's also good news in the face of this very real threat to democracy. Indivisible has launched Crush the Coup to make sure we're ready to defend democracy in 2024. They've put together a list of critical races in 6 key states and how you can get involved. Will you support Crush the Coup by donating?
Crush the Coup.
Which of the 6 states she visited during that campaign?
Each of these races is highly competitive.
You know why they're
and
doing
your
this?
dollars could very well decide
Because
the
our
winners.
courts are about to say
And-
that their other election was null and void due to all the cheating, and that's the only way that they're trying to cover their asses before all this stuff starts coming out, because there's so much evidence to prove that they cheated from so many different states, and they've already won some things in court.
like
So
version
once
of
all this starts
data
coming out, they've got to have a way to show that because we did that and we used the courts to prove that it was stolen, they're trying to throw it back on us. They always do this. Every time they come out with anything, it's because they're already doing it. Prove me wrong.
Vince Womack says, "Good time to go into the kitchen before the wicked beat to the west appears." Nice. Let's see. Tehillim, hail Tehillim, great to see you. Supreme, you should see some crazy left-wing conspiracies. Yeah, absolutely, there are. You know, they used to crack on the right-wingers for QAnon. Well, you know, a good friend of ours, Jack Posobiec, said these people are blue anon, and that's exactly what they are. Sonny Hosty claimed on The View that the GOP are the ones that are radical, which is hilarious. And listen, there are very few on that side that actually are, but for the most part, what they consider right-wingers anymore or radicals are just people that have common sense and think freely. So, you know, you can't trust the mouth of a leftist to correctly assess anyone that disagrees with their particular point.
They've already come out and said that deplorables are domestic terrorists. Parents going to a council meeting at their school saying they don't want certain things taught in their schools, or drag queens, or books with telling their kid that when they're 4 or 5 years old, they need to be a boy or a girl opposite of whatever they are, all that shit. And parents standing up saying they don't want this stuff in their schools. And then they're called terrorists and the police come and drag them out. I mean, that's who they're pointing the finger at. That's who they're saying this shit about, us.
Well,
people who give a shit.
They sicked the FBI on parents. Don't forget that. They had a domestic terrorist initiative against parents that were standing up against pornography and CRT and everything that they were teaching in the schools. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous.
And then and now you have all the new tax agents are going to be cranking down on everyone so they could take your stuff, so they can take your house and everything else. So they own everything, and you owe them your life because they're going to make sure you have scraps and you live in a shelter.
Yeah. Hail to Angela Straven. What's going on? Just Another Red Shirt says that he can see clearly what she's doing, and yeah, red shirt, exactly what she's doing. This is their signal to their people that the steel is on their side, and you're going to see another attempt at quote fortification. Uh, Newslad, what is your take on what you've seen from the left and from Hillary in particular with this video?
Well, I'll be honest. This is the first time I've seen that Hillary video. I'm a little frightened by it. She's pretty wide-eyed there.
Yeah, I know.
It's the extreme close-up that she insists on having every time she goes on video.
Right. Be honest with you, I feel like they're trying to bring up the January 6th thing and really milk it. They keep going back to this whole coup thing, and as a matter of fact, now that you asked me that, I was just thinking about this earlier today on my local radio station. I think it was, they were talking about I think it was Arizona. They were trying to say that, now of course they're saying it was right wingers, but there's no way to verify that people were already out trying to intimidate the mail-in voters. And I thought to myself, did you really go up to these armed individuals and ask them, excuse me, sir, but I'd like to know, are you voting Democrat or Republican this go around? Now, I know what they're trying to say here. They're trying to say we're intimidating people. And yes, I say I'm mostly Republican. I'm almost 40 years old myself now. So I grew up with a lot of good presidents. I hate to say it, some people will disagree with me, but I probably would take Clinton over Biden. I like to put that out there too, but they keep bringing up the January 6th thing. They're saying we're out here intimidating people. I would also like to know, and it might be a little off subject, but when I got to thinking about the whole steel thing too, don't be surprised if Stacey Abrams has that prepped and ready to go again. She already lost the last go round in Georgia. I think she's trailing, or I had heard she was trailing in Georgia once again, and that she's having trouble with the male African American voters there. I can't imagine why, when she, popped up on Star Trek. I can't imagine why that wouldn't have got their vote out when she was pretending to be the president of Earth.
I thought she was actually playing a planet.
She was like Kurt Russell from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That was her humanoid form, was what you saw on screen. So I would be real interested what's going to happen there. They keep saying that we're doing this, and this, but you'll notice they're the first ones. Hillary, for example, I remember that when she lost in 2016, and it's interesting to note that she brought this up, the whole popular vote and electoral vote. That was the first thing I remember her saying was, yeah, but I
remember
won.
how they wanted to do away with the Electoral College?
Yes, I was going
to. Still do.
She immediately was like, I guarantee you, if Biden would have lost by the Electoral College, somebody would have been trying to push that through Congress. If he had 81 million votes and still lost because the Electoral College elected Trump, you never hear the end of it.
81 million.
That's the purpose of the Electoral College too, is what is for the Trump situation. I mean, I personally think we aren't strong enough with the Electoral College, that it needs to actually break down district by district for the electors. That district is voting their elector to vote a certain way. It should go that way. We shouldn't popularize the state vote and
I
then
agree with
delegate the electors.
Definitely. I wish we
They
could
would never
do
see that
something
as
about
enough of a
that.
middle ground, but I think that's the best way to do it.
Well, you know, they see anything that is balanced as an affront, and it's absolutely ridiculous. You know,
Well, they think that the cities are all that matter. You know, if you got 4 big cities like in Texas, you got Austin, Dallas, and Houston, and they're all huge blue cities. And the fact that the state is still red, they don't understand, and they have a hard time admitting that just because they own the biggest states in each state, each city in each state, that they can't win. You know, they don't understand how that works. They hate that.
Hardy
Archer,
Alp, I
please
love
take her
it.
off the screen. Please take, unless you're going to
I
play
know.
it again.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right, we're
But
gonna-
it's even
my
worse
God.
because
Hello?
it's Soros.
I'm here to highlight something.
Oh
that
God, yeah,
is
that's
keeping me
perfect.
up
What is
at
wrong
night.
with you, man?
It works so well.
And I know this group
Oh God, it
really
does.
understands
All right,
what I'm
that's
about
creepy,
to say.
dude.
What are you
I know
doing?
we're all focused on the 2022.
Should I like pick her nose or something? Will
They
that
are
help?
incredibly important.
God.
But we also have to look ahead.
Oh, it's so
Because
bad.
you know what?
All right, we should
Our
kill that.
opponents.
All right. Do you know one of the things that while Hillary's going off about that, this was from a few hours ago. The Post Millennial shared this, and this is interesting. You know, even though, all right, we've already had Fauci come out, and he's now on a regret tour, saying that, you know, trying to distance himself, saying, "Oh, I might have possibly been wrong." You know, it looks like I might have been wrong about some of the things I said about you know, during COVID. Well, clueless commander in chief. Here we go again. Oh my God, they are really starting to push this again. You know, and I honestly thought, folks, that we were done to a degree with this, but this is absolutely ridiculous. So here we go.
Incredibly effective. The truth is, not enough people are getting it. We've got to change that. We can all have a safe and healthy holiday season. That's why I'm getting my shout updated today.
Remember when that was the defense against a hurricane?
Yeah.
If you don't get a booster, hurricanes are gonna get you, man. You gotta look out. There's earthquakes, but if you get 7 boosters, you're safe from Mount Vesuvius.
It's like saying "Ollie Ollie oxen free." You're all good.
You know, Godzillionaire says, "Watch him get the Katy Perry eye."
I had a thing for Katy Perry about 15 years ago, and then Tony sent me the video. It was like, check out what's wrong with her eye. I'm like, that's that fucking Pfizer eye.
Bro.
Yeah, but the weird thing is that she was tapping the side of her head, not her eye. You know,
Well,
I mean, if you go back and watch the video, she's not even touching her eye for whatever reason. It's weird. It was almost like she was a robot or something.
Once for closed, twice for open. You know,
It was weird.
You know what was funny? I thought that reminded me of the one time, you know, the one time that there was this gal that you know, I was doing the mambo with, and then all of a sudden I was like, "Oh wait, oh here's nut in your eye," and she just started, you know, trying to blink and wink and shit like that, and I was just like, "Damn, man." And so that kind of gave me flashbacks to that moment.
See, what you got to do then is kick him in the shin, and it's called the Angry Pirate because they're hopping on one leg going, "Arr!"
But what was wrong with her eye, Drew? I missed it.
Oh my gosh, Janet.
I miss. I was
Oh,
trying to
Lord.
understand what you were saying.
On that note, thank you
Send
very
me a
much, ladies and
message,
gentlemen.
man. Just send me a DM so I know what you're talking about.
Oh my
Not
god.
send her a DM, but not a DP. I
Not a
mean,
DP.
hey.
Yeah, don't send the DP, boys.
I really don't understand. It's not fair.
Janet, you know you're so wholesome. You're so
She
wholesome.
is. She's
You're so
wholesome.
I really
We're
do. I
corrupting
want
her.
to know.
We're corrupting
I'm
the shit out of
inquisitive.
her.
I don't want to ruin you, dear. It's just
This is what we
you're
do
so
with classy
wholesome.
people on this show.
You're
This
so
is what we do to
wholesome.
them.
Yeah.
Come down to our level. Come down to our
I'm
level.
trying to come
Yeah.
down,
It's like a
but I don't
tractor
know.
beam
You don't.
I have to learn
You
the
don't want
language.
to.
Maturity.
It smells funny down here.
I already apologized to the chat earlier for bringing the the room tone to such a low level.
Tehillim says, how many of the Democratic videos are deep fakes? I mean, that's a serious question that I wonder about, Tehillim. No kidding. It's insane. Parrothead says Paul Joseph Watson had great praise in his most recent bid to describe the jabbers. It jabbed me harder, Daddy. Yeah, that's about it.
You got the govern me harder, the jab me harders.
Yeah. Vince is asking a question out loud, and I wonder this myself. What are the chances that the 80% lethal variant escapes before the midterm?
All mail-in ballots.
You have to wonder about
I don't even
that.
think we're going to have that. I think we're going to be under a state of emergency. We won't have elections.
Well, I already voted. So.
Well, how could they really at this point though pull that off unless there was a major false flag?
Why do you think they're having all these military people flying to all the big cities?
Well, there would have to be a major false flag.
No, I'm just saying it's like they're calling out the National Guard, getting them prepared for the riots and things that are going to happen because they're going to say that it's under a state of emergency. The president can stop elections.
All right, I got you. No, I think I know why.
Well,
I think I know why, Janet. It's because the polls are actually showing that there is a very good chance of us having what they keep calling the red wave. So there's a good possibility that a lot of seats are going to flip from blue to red.
That's what I'm
in
saying.
those districts, people are going to freak out. In the major cities, they're worried about people in block marching around and burning down.
Yeah,
I think it's a good reason to do it.
But they didn't care when it was Antifa tearing up everything and burning cities down. Oh, it's mostly people.
But that's their side, so that's okay with them. That's their side.
Okay for their side. They think we, the parole boards are going to be cause rioting because we lose.
See, they've realized that they go into the high class neighborhoods too. That's the problem. When they went into the mayor of Seattle's neighborhood, and we're trying to peacefully protest out there, so they're going to send the National Guard are going to specifically around all
what
the gated
happened
neighborhoods.
with what Trudeau did in Canada, they're going to do here.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hold that thought a second because ETEP is getting ready to take off. I know that Tony and ETEP are getting ready to go and do the Clown World Review show on his channel. Make sure that you sub to the Clown World Reviews and check him out. And ETEP, go ahead and take it away and tell everybody what you got going on.
All right. It is October, which, as Lasso Truth says, that's it's horror month. So on the channel, so we're doing nothing but horror content, with the exception of the Black Adam review I did yesterday. Go check that out. And I did a video about Halloween today, the franchise as a whole, and how piss poor this new trilogy was, and so on. That was fun. That was fun to do. I'm working on a documentary about the Axeman of New Orleans, as requested by one of my channel members. You can join for $2.99 or $4.99 a month. The Axeman of New Orleans, an unsolved case. And I'm actually, speaking of that, I've got some Unsolved Mysteries videos about specific episodes coming up, and some unsolved cases, try to find some updates, things like that on them. A few more movie reviews. We're going to do a watch party Wednesday night. It never wins when I put up a poll, so screw it. We're just going to watch 976 Evil 2 Astral. And there's a lot of nudity and a lot of violence in it, so we'll be watching that Wednesday night. For Going Rogue this week. No Saturday night's main event. But videos coming out all week, so thank you. I'm going over the Clown World Review right now. to get ready for the Monday Night War retrospective in about 15 minutes over on Tony Tonedeaf's channel. Like I said, that's the Clown World Review. Go over and subscribe to him. And thank you, this wonderful panel and this amazing chat.
Yeah, we were on fire.
Great.
We were on fire. Absolutely, man.
And
thanks,
just remember, Janet, there's a difference between dick pics and DP.
but no, you know,
she forgets. What if I forget?
To get to your point, Janet, they would have to do a major false flag, and what they could do, there's a couple of things that could be done, you know, guys, and this is something you and the audience may or may not know. I actually had a live stream pulled by YouTube for misinformation, even though the following is historical fact, what I'm going to bring up to you, but I was talking specifically about National Security Presidential Directive 51, otherwise known as Directive 51 for short. It was introduced under the Bush administration. It is something that the government has in its toolbox, being that it was a former executive order. Those never go away, or the statute of limitations doesn't expire on them, because they can selectively keep them around for use at any given time. So the thing is, with Directive 51, it's very general. So anything that they deemed to be a situation that was a mass casualty event or something along those lines, they could literally federalize anything, and what you would have would be absolute governmental authority until it was deemed that the emergency or particular event passed. So you would have essentially indefinite federal authority until such a time as a crisis abated, which is scary in itself. And this particular executive order that Bush had put into play, that they have sitting in the government toolbox, is a very real thing. I brought this up, and YouTube just inexplicably pulled down the live stream about it. The guy that I had on, that was the original guest on that stream, actually brought up, you know, names and places and information that was very sensitive and really relevant to that particular topic. And yeah, YouTube really did not like that video, and they said it was misinformation. They didn't say medical misinformation. They just said general misinformation, which is funny considering it has historical relevance and actually happened. There was an exercise called Operation Dark Winter that, you know, actually introduced the sort of chain of events where this particular directive would be used. They did a practice mass casualty event, so that's very real. But as I was saying to you, Janet, yeah, they would have to do something like that.
You mean like all the stuff you're hearing about a dirty bomb, things like that? You don't think any of that might have anything to do with the troops being taken out on both coasts, you know, and sent to different cities? And just, I don't know. I'm really worried about. I just can't wait till this is over with and the elections are over, so I can stop worrying about it, because I'm just petrified that they're going to do a pulse or something and blame it on Russia. But now they can blame it on China since their PSA came out. I mean, I'm just saying they're opening the gates to be able to have anything or everything happen, so that they can pull the stops on the election. And that's what I don't know, just really worried about it.
I don't know, Newslad, would you put it past our own government to, you know, I know the answer to this, but I want to know what your take is on it. Would you put it past the government to pull a direct operation on the American people?
Well, first, let me say this, and hopefully this works.
Come on, man.
I don't know if that was able to come up on there.
Oh, it did.
Oh, good. That's a new thing I just got. Would I would hope not, but, and I strongly emphasize the but, it wouldn't surprise me in the least if it were to happen, especially perhaps around November. Maybe not this November, but they like to call it the October surprise. So it might get a little interesting come October of 24, if you know what I'm saying. Especially if Trump is running again, like he's saying he might have to. I would not put it past it. I hate to say that because, like I said, I grew up really, really loving my country.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I was unable to serve. I'll admit I had some health problems growing up, but I come from a military family. Both my grandfathers were Marines.
Same here.
My dad was in the Navy. His oldest brother was Air Force. I have another uncle that was Army. So long history. I love my country, but no, it pains me to kind of say that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe not to the scale of a dirty bomb per se, but it wouldn't surprise me. No.
I have something that I will just tell you here in a second, but I want to get to some of our chat because again the chat's been on fire all stream, and shout out to the best chat on YouTube. You guys are killing it tonight. Horny Out brings up a hell of a great point right here. This sounds a lot like when Caesar took supreme power over Rome. It became an empire, and power never went back fully to the Senate. Yeah, and you're absolutely spot on with that, Horny Out. It's very much like, well, that's what inspired, Palpatine in Clone Wars in the prequels. Same thing, same idea, and they got that from ancient Rome, and that's why, the same scenario can ring true today. Small Time Republic brings up another example, and this is going on in real time. Newsom still has California in a state of emergency. Don't think that will happen indefinitely on a federal level. And Matt is 100% spot on with that. Never let a good crisis go to waste, even if you created it in a lab. Horny Elf said, I'm 17 years Air Force. Thank you for your service, brother. Appreciate it. Just Another Red Shirt said, I have a sneaking feeling that however it comes out, the next election is going to precipitate a constitutional crisis. I have had that feeling for quite a while, Red Shirt, absolutely. My father was in the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps, 30-plus year veteran, buried in Arlington National Cemetery, and served in World War II, Korea, Vietnam, consulted on Desert Shield, and actually Grenada as well. So my dad was a veteran through and through of, both classified operations and full-on warfare in full-on trench warfare. So he understood, but look, I want to address what Newslad was saying because I've done the research. I've looked into this. The three-letter agencies, specifically FBI, CIA, have been perpetrating crimes because it is criminal, some of the things that they've done, whether it's been surveillance, whether it's been direct testing without people's knowledge, whether it has been actual criminal activity under the guise that it was randomized criminal activity, but it was actually perpetrated or manipulated by these agencies. The three-letter agencies have been running clandestine operations on the American people for decades. That is very provable. It is truth, and it is a hard truth to really come to grips with, but this is the world we live in. It's been hidden well over history. It's not something that is readily brought up. You will not see it brought up on the news. You will not see this talked about in, your fancy panel programs on Fox News or on CNN. They don't like to talk about that. But that's what the spooks have done. They've gone, this is part of that. They're a little skunk works apparatus. That's what they do. A lot of this is running operations against your own citizens. And frankly, it's disgusting that they've done that to people. But they have. The American people are meant to feel safe, not to be have crimes committed against them by. It's bad enough criminals do it, but they don't need their own government doing it. And that's what is scary in itself. And it's no surprise that as T.Z. Burton put this right here, there's the FBI is constituted alarmingly of a lot of pedos these days. Hail the lovely Sherry, the great, and I count her in the Legion herself because Sherry produces some of the greatest memery I've seen in a while. She's just been on a roll with me.
Drew, she actually is in the Legion now. I'm not sure if you were aware of that.
She deserves to be because
absolutely,
the lovely Sherry is talented, and I'm just saying that's wife material right there, boys. That is the lovely
she's
Sherry.
Official.
The lovely Sherry is a great lady. She is awesome, and she's a good friend too. And I love you, girl. But the thing is, you now have to worry about your own government coming after you or committing crimes against you. And you also have to be vigilant of natural street crime that's happening around you. The world is a dangerous place to live in right now. It's a lot more dangerous than it's ever been for any of us. And that is not the America that I don't think any of us want to live in. We want to live in America that has moral center, that has, that embraces ideas, embraces diversity of thought. That's the diversity that you want, organic diversity. And we had that. We had that largely, most of us in this chat that are later millennial or earlier millennials and Gen X and the generation before Gen X, okay? We had that. We understand that. That was the America that we knew, that we were comfortable in, that you felt safe in. Now, a lot of shenanigans were starting to shape up around then, and they were going on. Hell, these shenanigans with the government doing things against the American people has gone back, since before the end of World War II. And if you want to count on a global scale, all right, this goes back even farther. You can go back a century when the banking cartel instituted the whole central bank scam. And that's a story for another day. But Free Speech is over there. I know he agrees with me on that.
Sorry, I was checking the chat and stuff. I'm kind of zoned out a little bit.
But
yeah, I'm sure I do.
But the central bank cartel, dude, you go back 100 years. I mean, that's where a lot of our problems started.
I mean, what's even worse than the central bank cartel themselves is that they finally have they've been successful in turning us to a cronyist nation to where they're able to lobby the government to make them, too big to fail businesses, so they're able to sell bad loans to people. I mean, that's what happened to cause the 2008 crash, and it's happened a little bit before that, but that's what happened there. Is the cartels got together, got government approval to say that, hey, if you guys go out of business, it will be considered such a huge economic shift that it'll completely destroy the economy, and we can't have that happen. So we're going to give you a stimulus if you, happen to lose, instead of you going out of business.
And Time Profit, and I'm pretty sure that most people over in Great Britain understood the minute that Truss was out of power, because I truly believe she was railroaded out of power by operatives from the WEF. We knew that Britain would be taken over by a WEF friendly leader, and I am not surprised that they have these ties at all. But that's but again, this is what we're fighting against. And when Klaus Schwab says that they've, penetrated the governments, he's right, because they've not only brought their operatives up through the ranks, and they're now leading nations. Okay, they have literally penetrated the governments and fucked you over as citizens. That's exactly what they've done, and these people revel in that. They want us dead. They want us poor. They want us sick. So they're relentless, and we need to continue to have the discussions that we do, because this is the way that we fight back. It's the war of information, and as sure as shit that I'm sitting here, I'm going to continue to fight the war of information and let them have it with both barrels, because that's what I do. And I will do that till my dying breath, or till they take me away and lock me away in prison on some bogus charge for criticizing the government.
Well, do you think that after the whole thing with Twitter is taken over, and it starts turning away from what the left really wants, you don't think that Google and Amazon, all of them, would do the same thing to Twitter that they did to Parler?
Yeah,
you think something like that could happen because of the big banks and the big tech companies?
Wait, Terminus S says Drew would make a killing if he starts a sperm banking cartel. Dude, I actually could. You realize, Terminus, unironically, that if I wanted to, dude, you know what the price of pure blood sperm would go for, man? Seriously, that's a killing right there. Boris Johnson, I don't think will be back, because I think that guy absolutely screwed himself over, but he is a WEF stooge 100%. Tehillim says another group to watch is the Asia Society plus Bilderberg. Dude, and I will go one more. Don't forget those other people that always tout the Depop agenda, and I forget what it is. The council is something or other. I forget what it is, but they're always like that. And so you can't get away from the global elite. There's a lot of people running around that are just following this call to what to kill off humanity. They still believe in this utopia of the one world government, and they're not going to stop. WEF association is going to be grounds for treason charges, or the Anglosphere is done. Absolutely, dude. I don't, Redshirt, I don't know if enough people, and I hope enough people do realize that we're fighting for the entire identity of the West, because the West is going to be swept up into essentially a zombie conglomerate of countries if we lose the identity that the West has had for years, the values, the culture, everything.
Well, you see it swinging back. Sweden, Italy, you see it swinging back in places, and it takes a long time for what the population really wants to actually be able to reach governmental, installation. Because I mean, there's been a slow leak of this toward a more traditional conservative style movement taking over governments in these countries for years now. And now I know like the Italy happened pretty quickly actually. Like I think 4 to 6 years roughly for them to really have enough support, enough power to get their new prime minister not installed, but elected.
Yeah. Well, it's ridiculous, dude. I'm really worried about just the world losing their identity, the countries losing the unique identity and culture that they've had for thousands of years. It's important to the citizens of those particular countries, no matter.
Yeah, their cultures that like from Rome and from France and from Germany, it's all turning into, it's like the transgender stuff is taking over because they want everyone to be Barbie and Ken with no genitalia, no chain, no differences. So basically, they're taking the culture and they're turning it all into the one streamlined nothingness, where everyone's exactly the same. We're all cookie cutter people walking around with nothing different. And that's what I see him wanting to do to the whole world. And until people realize that's what's happening to your country and your city and your schools and, everything, nothing's going to change. And I'm slowly seeing more and more people standing up saying, I don't want that. I don't want to be like everybody else, and hopefully it won't be too late.
Well,
they really.
Well, go ahead.
I guess I'll go. They really screwed up with all of that when they got the parents involved, because they were able to really move things slowly along, and they weren't getting at least enough pushback. They were getting it from places like this, but they weren't getting widespread, notable public pushback from normies who aren't normally paying attention until they got the parents involved. And at-home learning had a lot to do with that as well, because now the parents get a clear view of what is going on in the classrooms.
Yep. I'm glad in a way that maybe that'll put a stop to it. More and more parents stepping up to defend their children.
Yeah, man. I wish we had this. I do need to add this to the Stream Element store, by the way, because and listen, guys, I'll let you guys know about it in my outro, but we are trying to really raise some last money on Mom's Memorial Fund. So givesendgo.com/Taylor Legacy. If you can help with that, that would be great, because I really am trying to not only make the last payment on her funeral arrangements, but also get enough together that I can pay back the bank, because I've got this foreclosure notice now, and I really have to get them a payment like ASAP. So hopefully they can call the buzzards off, because I do want to sell this house and I do want to start over, and I want to get to a safe location, because where I live is not safe anymore. This city is not safe anymore. I do want to bring up our last topic of the night before we go, because man, this show that we've done has been great. But I want to share this article, and this is from the New York Post. And how many times, guys, And how many more times are we going to see this argument and see this kind of stupidity out of a publication just looking to fill their article quota? Because this is just downright stupid. So people who identify as gamers are more likely to be racist and sexist, says
And
a
proud of
study. So apparently, this is a study that a new study reveals that people who identify as gamers are more likely to exhibit extreme behaviors, quote, such as racism and sexism. While toxicity and radicalization have long been associated with gaming culture, gee, I wonder why. It's not certainly because not of gamers themselves. The study released last week by Take This, a nonprofit mental health organization working with the gaming industry and community. Yeah, nonprofit means they're a Democrat organization working with the gaming industry and community. Showed just how easily, quote, gamer identity can take over a person's life and where that can lead. When the gamer identity is core to who you are as a person, that seems to reflect what we call toxic gamer culture. Tends to reflect more exclusion than inclusion. So things like racism and sexism and misogyny. Research director Rachel Cowart told Vice Media, oh God, it gets even better. So it was Vice that came up with this interview originally. In 2019, it was revealed by the Anti-Defamation League, another bunch of liberals, that 1 in 10 young gamers between the ages of 13 to 17 had been exposed to white supremacist ideology. According to ADL research, far-right extremists use gaming communities as hunting ground. Communities such as Steam and Discord are allegedly popular with white supremacists. Oh my God. I cannot seriously read this anymore. All right. The study goes on to say at one point here, gamer communities represent a double-edged sword. On the one hand, they may provide a sense of connection and purpose for individuals who suffer from loneliness and insecurity. On the other hand, they may expose gamers to hateful speech and social toxicity that can increase their susceptibility to extremist propaganda. I mean, Jesus Christ. All right, look. It is gaming.
Oh,
all right.
Terrible.
And most of them are kids.
Yes. And TZ Burton brings up a good point. Toxic gamers like Melanie Mac. Butter is not safe anymore. No, I love Melanie Mac, though. But seriously, look, I've been gaming since I was a kid on my Atari 2600. All right. I turned out just fine. I don't have extremist ideology. I have common sense. A lot of the times, gaming was an outlet that drove me to further my sense of wonder, to blow off steam in a positive way instead of going out and getting in trouble. It afforded me opportunities. Back when the first Xbox came out, I remember back in those early days of playing Rainbow Six 3 and Rainbow Six Siege, or not Siege, but Rainbow Six 3 Black Arrow. Black Arrow. But Rainbow Six 3 Black Arrow, my original clan, sickest of all. We were the precursor to what you see now in these days of big tournaments. Playing in those gaming clans back then with legendary clans like PMS, which, by the way, was an all-girl clan. And women want to make this whole Gamergate thing, but you had all-girl gaming clans even back then. They made their reputation playing Quake, playing the original Quake. So it's not like there hasn't been diversity in gaming. It's not like there hasn't been inclusion. The person that actually ran my gaming clan along with me, that was the co-leader, was a girl. And she was one of the best players at Rainbow Six Siege Black Arrow that there was. I mean, this girl was absolutely fantastic. I mean, the chick had, to get into first person shooter, but FPS nerd terms here. She had a 3.52 KD ratio, and back then in those old first person shooters, that was impressive numbers, and she could back it up. When we would go into a clan match, she would take out half the other team before they even know what hit them. And then she would jokingly make fun of us, like, come on, boys, keep up with me. But
the gatekeeping that happened with gaming back then that should have never gone away and, should honestly be enforced is it's not gatekeeping people away from the game. It's gatekeeping people who are faking that they know about the game. You can come in and say, I don't know anything about this. And people are going to talk shit and they're going to kill you. But if you put the time in and get good at a game and become competitive if it's a competitive style game, you're going to get people's respect. They're going to like you. They're going to keep shit talking you and telling you that they're going to fuck your mom. That's just what they do on those things.
Dude, I'll take it to a more recent period of time. Remember the good old days of Xbox Live and being on Halo 3. And I know some of you in this very chat, can remember those days. Okay? There was nothing like a late night on Xbox Live playing Social Slayer on Halo 3. I mean, because there would be all kinds of fun shit talk. You could guarantee some people would be talking crazy off the wall, like sexual encounters, or talking about, there wasn't a whole lot of political talk back then. It would be either sports, crazy sexual encounters, just crazy randomness. And there were some guys that were just amazed that there were actually chicks on playing and that were on voice chat. So like girl gamers that could actually play were actually given a lot of credit. More often the interactions with girl gamers and guys were like, oh my God, the chick kicks ass. That's awesome. And it was not the typical Gamergate, like, oh my God, these guys are so misogynistic, blah, blah, blah. We used to marvel at girl gamers with skills. They were amazing. But no, it just an article like that does a disservice again to what I consider is still a very constructive outlet and hobby, and I think it's a beneficial hobby.
No, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah. If you go looking for a problem, you're going to find it. It's like Free Speech was saying. How many times are you on those things and it's just some kid like, oh, I banged your mom last night and you're this, that, the other thing. They don't tell you that. They're just telling you, oh, the people that were offended by such and such thing were 13 to 17, but they're not telling you how many people saying that are 13 to 17 or younger or even younger than that.
I remember about 4 or 5 years ago, Free Speech playing PUBG, and then go on there, and I'd fuck with the chinkies that were on there. It'd be like, they would say China number one. I'd be like, yeah, China number one. No, Philippines number one. I'd be messing with them.
Freedom for Hong Kong.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was good times, but I mean, you can't have that anymore because you've got the party poopers now that are just like, oh, you're misogynistic, you're an extremist, you're blah, 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 blah. And they want to come up with this word salad diarrhea to try to make you feel guilty about the escapes that you have and the things you do because you're not marching to the woke tune when you do them.
It's exactly because of the escapism, because they don't want you to have anything that they can't force you to think about everyday politics, and particularly their politics that they're trying to push. It's the everything is political stance that you get out of really any type of authoritarianism, but it's codified in socialism. And so that's why they infiltrate these spaces. They've already done it to gaming. they've been on comics for a long time.
Oh,
They've
yeah.
done tabletop gaming. They're working on video games. Video games are a little bit harder for them to do because so much of it is indie these days. So they're having a bit of trouble, a bit of pushback there. That's why they have to keep spitting out articles like this. Whereas you look at tabletop games and they're well past that. Like they no longer have to make the articles about, the tabletop gamers are just a bunch of racist, misogynist, ists, and phobes. They've moved past that to where the articles are now talking about the news coming from things like how D&D has officially made it that demons and devils no longer have to be evil. Their alignment no longer has to be evil. You can have a whole spectrum of demons and devils. It's like that defeats the purpose of a demon or a devil. They're inherently evil creatures, but they've infiltrated it so far. They've gotten rid of all class and race restrictions because those were racist. And I'm not even kidding. That's the actual reasons why they did it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing of it is I look at this now and I say, hold on to the hobbies that you love, hold on to the things that you love, and continue to fight for them. You have to. And in the greater sense, when I go back to us fighting the information war, that's again another reason why we're fighting this information war. So, there you go. But listen, folks, it is 8:31. Man, the show has gone over. We went over an extra few minutes, but God, it flew by. We had good topics tonight, and mainly we ripped off the cup, but it was a great discussion. And I thank everybody for being here. We did awesome tonight, and thank you so many of you for sticking around, because I know that you stuck around through dinner and the whole 9 yards. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for that. So let's go around the panel, let everybody do their outro, and then I want to tell you guys about a special fundraiser that we have coming up. So go ahead and let's start with Will.
Should make it comfortable. What is up, everybody? Another great night, another great guest. In the end, there's really not much more I could say about the topics we covered tonight. They're real, they're scary, they're thought-provoking. What I will do is I will continue to hammer home the ongoing battle that we're that I'd like to say I'm a decent part of with my man, the man, Mr. Taylor. And we're coming down the home stretch. And we had a good day today. We got a lot of work done at the house, getting it on the market, getting them going, getting them to start a new life in a better place. And it's all about going the full 9. And I'm on board, and I hope you all are too.
All right, and let's go over to Mr. Free Speech Gaming, Steven.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? It has been another excellent Tuesday, as always. Chat, you guys were great. This one wasn't quite as divisive and argumentative as the last couple of weeks, but you guys were hilarious today, and I think it was the help we got from the extra support from the Legion of Memers. We had Newslad, we had Horny Alf in the chat, and lovely Sherry. So I want to thank all of the support we got from them. Make sure everybody out there in the audience send your support out to the Legion of Memers as well, because they make the internet funny again, which is not an easy thing to do these days. So go enjoy their work.
And not to steal a thing from Wes, Free Speech Gaming, but you know how Wes had conspiracy? Janet's new show would be like DP or DP.
Yes.
And on cue, there you go, Janet. Tell everybody what you got
thank you
going
for having me on the show again, Drew, and the panel. I love talking about politics, even though I don't know every single detail about everything. But if you want to check out my shorts on my channel, Janet from Another Planet, I just make shorts, and I'm also reading my book that I've written. It's about vampires, witches, warlocks, and archangels. And at Monday nights, I'm on Bruce Lombardo's channel, and we do movie reviews. And on Tuesday night, I'm here. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are an integral part of this show, Janet. I love that you're on here. And
thank you.
And let's go to our guest of honor tonight, Mr. Newslad. And man, brother, thank you again for being here. But it was great just getting a chance to chat with you and get to know your views and your takes on things. Because man, I love having conversations with people about it.
Yeah, man, I really appreciate it. A lot of times the Legion and I don't always get to share our individual views, but that's also what kind of makes us great is there's so many of us that we do have our own views, which is great. We all get along. I know not everyone has got to see that yet, but the Legion really does get along, which I think is what helps us get the word out and cover these shows like you mentioned. Alf and Sherry and Commander Phil was in the chat. We really support each other and a lot of the shows that are in the sphere, this realm of influence, as it were. It was really great to be on because, like I said, I don't get to talk about these sort of things often. I'm not an expert, but I try to keep apprised of situations going on. So I really enjoyed getting to be on here tonight. If anyone wants, they could check out my YouTube. I mostly make shorts as well. I had a goal to hit 100 subs before the meetup, which I passed. And not everyone knows this, but I was kind of telling the Legion that once I hit 100, maybe I would branch out more. So we're going to see what happens there. Also, and the guys and maybe Sherry might kill me if I didn't mention it. The Legion actually now has a Saturday show, generally about 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays.
Oh, that's awesome.
We do have a stream now.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, appreciate it. Check that out. Check all of us out.
Absolutely.
We try to hit up all kinds of shows. I really appreciate it.
And above all, you guys are quality friends and chatters and supporters. And and it's like I tell the chat every week. Without you guys, there is no us. And I appreciate your friendship, Newslad, and the rest of the Legion, and all of you guys in the chat. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And so, Newslad, again, thank you so much for being here. And listen, it's important to talk to, the person that is another citizen like you are. And it's not always sitting here I think sometimes people get lost in when we book guests, we try to take these big shots and get super famous people and things like that. You don't always need that. If you have a compelling guest, sometimes the best kind of guest to have, especially on a program like this one, is somebody that is experiencing life the same as you are. So that parallel is there. It's just understanding the perspective of another citizen. And that's what I enjoy about it, even though that you and the Legion have your own brand of fame that you're rapidly rising up the ranks. People know, because we certainly know the left can't meme, but the Legion of memers can meme like stars, and that's awesome, and that's why I'm glad that you guys are getting your due and good things are happening for you. And it makes me happy as your friend to see you guys successful.
Plus, it helps that you have good taste in college football teams.
That's right, brother.
I had to put that up there.
Go Bucks. Right. Big John, shout out to Big John. Big John in the chat, also a huge Buckeyes fan. So there you go. All right, folks. I said I had a fundraiser, which I do Sunday. I will probably do the Midnight Prism a little earlier, and maybe somewhere around that window of 4 in the afternoon, 5 in the afternoon, and we'll kind of do we'll kind of mishmash the Midnight Prism and United Resistance. We're going to go for 3 hours, and I'm kind of going to celebrate the life of Mama Heretic. I want to do this because on October 31st, on Halloween, that is Mama Heretic's birthday. It would have been her 80th birthday. I want to do that remembrance for her on Sunday, the 30th, because on the 31st, I'm going to do the tradition Mom and I always used to do, which was, hand candy out to the kids and everything. Will, you're welcome to come over, by the way, for trick or treat that Monday if you want.
Check my calendar.
And I'm just gonna hand out candy to kids. That's what Mom would have done. That's what she and I would have done together. We always did that. And so Monday I can't really do it. So Sunday afternoon, early evening, we are going to do that fundraiser. And I want to end on a really strong note and try to bring home that last 2 to 3K in on that fund, so that we can end on a strong note, really pay off the last of Mom's funeral, and also pay the bank that money that they need so that they don't have to continue foreclosure procedures, which I'm hoping against hope that when I next talk to the mortgage lady in a couple days that I'm able to do, because as the way it sounded last time, it's too late now that I received the official foreclosure letter, but you never know. They might take these payments. So hopefully I can get together enough to make them a payment or two and get them off my back so that I can just sell the house and have, a happy ending to this. And, I'm just praying that it works. But I just want to thank you guys in the audience for being such good friends, such good supporters, continuing to show up every week, support this show, support this channel, and support all of us here in the fellowship. It means a lot. So I appreciate you. And as I said before, without you, there is no us. So until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. We love you, and we will see you Sunday for the special fundraiser for Mom, and it'll be the Midnight Resistance. And then, of course, we will see you the following Tuesday for United Resistance at its regular day and time. So love you guys, and we will see you next time.
Good night.
Bye.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sporking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm Temple Kuyan of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, True Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? You didn't get anybody to like this?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tone Death rocking.
I mean, we have a lot of cool things over there. I did some magic tricks.
Hi, guys. Try to stay here.
My name is Monkey Knight.